A lot of people I talk to think discipline is about willpower alone. If I just tried harder, if I did more things. But you're missing the point of the purpose of discipline, what we're trying to do. I'm going to show you how you can create real, lasting strength and change into your life by setting what I call standards. Now, I want to give full credit to Ed Milet, who first showed me this concept and how it changed how I look at self improvement, discipline, forever. By setting daily standards, you're not only going to just improve your discipline, but you're going to totally reshape your identity to live as the man or woman you really are capable of truly being. My name is Austin Simons. I am founder of Metabolic Rebuild Nutrition as well as the Modern Crusader program, where I help men and women become CEOs of their lives, Christ centered, elite, and optimized in all areas. So let's get into it. Now, does this sound familiar at all? That you're falling into the same repeated patterns of behavior and sins and vices, whether that's eating too much, falling off our diet, sins of the flesh, overeating, over drinking, over and over again. No matter what we do, we can't seem to make these changes stick. Now, you think it's just a lack of discipline, but it's much deeper than that. Now, the problem with white-knuckling our way out of these situations, whether that be sin or your diets that you fall out of, is an identity issue. We're not actually embodying the identity we need to succeed and make these changes stick. Setting standards is going to beat setting goals every time. So here's what I do and my personal standards that I set, just an example that you can see and maybe create your own personalized version of this. First, I set a physical standard for myself. That means I have said I'm going to sweat every single day. So personally, I hit jujitsu classes 3 days a week. I lift weights. Right now, I'm doing 2 days a week. And then the other 2 days, I'm either will hit a cardio session or a walk. It doesn't matter the activity, how long, it can be very short. I just have to break a sweat. That allows me to embody the identity of someone who takes their physical health very seriously. Second, I set standards for my spiritual body. For me, I follow my rule of life. So that is my prayer routine template where I have fixed times of the day that I say particular prayers. I break my day up into 3 parts: morning, afternoon, and evening. And I typically follow the same template: meditation at night, scripture in the morning, prayers in the afternoons. These are non negotiables in my daily life because I want to embody the identity of someone who takes their prayer and their relationship with the Lord very seriously. And finally, I set standards to tame my flesh. This is one a lot of people overlook, right? So the sins and vices that I personally struggle with, I try and set standards to combat these. So an example would be I like to fast from noon. I start eating rather at noon and I stop eating at 8. It's a very not intense, easy window to follow. But for me, my sweet cravings tend to be at night. So I cut off eating at a certain time and I take that seriously. And in the mornings, I like to skip breakfast because I feel better when I work out and it just helps my hunger cues throughout the day. Another standard I've set is I have all of my social media pretty much removed from my phone. I use social media on my desktop when I'm working, and that's pretty much it. There are a few exceptions, but I take this seriously because I tend to fall into the trap of scrolling and doom scrolling. And I have 3 kids with fourth on the way. And so I want to make sure I'm present with them as a father, as a good husband, and I just don't need to be looking at all the junk on my phone. So that is a boundary and a standard that I have set because I'm setting the identity of someone who takes their mental health and their relationships with their families and kids seriously. And I'm not going to be trapped in this cycle of addiction to social media and technology. These were just a few examples. I want you to at least take what I did and think about what are some standards that you can set into your life personally. As you can see, it's not about forcing this willpower and white knuckling through this. I've set these standards because it's about becoming the person who does these things. I don't always want to work out, but my standards, I have to break a sweat. So maybe I'm not feeling my jujitsu class that day. That rarely happens. I'll go on a quick 10, 15-minute HIIT workout or walk, right? If I'm so tired, I want to skip my prayers before bed, I'm going to still go through my rule of life routines, even if I don't feel like it. These standards allow me to live at that certain level of person I am becoming. When your will aligns with your intellect, our flesh, our body, our sinful nature stops running the show. You'll no longer have to white knuckle anything because you're embodying that new person. So if you want the full regimen that I follow personally, just to give you some ideas, comment below. I threw it on a document. I'll send it over absolutely for free. Hope this was helpful. God bless.